Well, thanks very much indeed, Fergal, and I'd like to thank you for your hospitality in allowing us use this wonderful chamber. I know that it's of great historic significance, and it's a great honour for us to be here. I'd like to thank both Bruce and Frank for their hospitality. I suppose many of you know Ireland. We are a country that, I suppose, to quote Shaw, we've had to... He said that we're made wise not by the recollection of our past, but by the responsibility for our future. And I suppose we as a government have had to take that to heart. I think it would have been easy to reflect on the disastrous past that led us into a crash that saw our banks collapse, saw 1 in 8 jobs disappear overnight, saw our fiscal situation fall asunder. But I think the Irish people have faced up to the sort of challenge that past has presented to us. And we have taken responsibility for it, and we've carved out a new Ireland, I think. We are not there yet, but we are certainly well on the way. We have had to make huge adjustments in terms of our public finances. People in the public sector have taken pay cuts, nominal pay cuts of 20%. We've downsized our public sector by 10%. And we sought to grow our enterprise base. And what we have here tonight are 32 of some of our best companies who have grown and thrived even against the background of a very difficult economic environment at home. And they've done that because they've been able to travel abroad and carve out new markets. That has been greatly supported by Enterprise Ireland, and Mary Cannan is here as well as Paul Burford. Mary Cannan is taking over from Paul as being the person representing Enterprise Ireland. They have given a fantastic service to our companies, but ultimately it is the companies and the ingenuity of the products and services that they've developed that are winning new markets for us here in Australia. And it is, as Bruce says, it is a win-win when you trade, because we find that many of the challenges that Australian companies and Australian sectors face are similar ones that are being faced in Europe and in America and all over the globe. Most of our companies have worked in very close relationship to some of the most ambitious and innovative US companies. So they've grown up in an environment where they're servicing companies that have very high expectations. And I think some of the niche technologies that have been developed here are really relevant and have a fit as Australia itself seeks to build a new dimension to its own economy built on enterprise and innovation. And that's what struck me during the course of today, that Australia, looking from the outside, people would say this is an enormously successful economy, 20 years of uninterrupted growth. Yet here, within Victoria, people are challenging to say we need to do more. We need to be more innovative. We need to look at technology in new ways. We need to apply the potential of technology in areas like health and financial services and exploit those for new benefits. So I think that eagerness to get on is something that really impresses us about Victoria. And I'm not going to enter into the judgment as to whether Sydney or Melbourne is the place we should base. Thankfully, these sort of decisions are not made by me, they're made by the executives. But no, there is a great buzz here, and I'd really like to say how welcome we have been made feel in the last couple of days. It's fantastic. And I'd like to congratulate Rob Clifford and your chamber here for the work you are doing. I know you do a great deal of work to support recent Irish emigration. Sadly, one of the big products of the crash has been the large number of people at its peak. Over 30,000, 35,000 net were leaving, leaving our shores to find their living elsewhere. Thankfully, this year that's come down by 12,000, and we're beginning to see employment growth in Ireland. So the transformation, the effort that people have made in becoming more competitive, in building new enterprises, it is now delivering results in the Irish economy. We've seen employment grow in the last 12 months by 2.3%, which would put us probably the fastest growing employment base in Europe at this point. We are back into a primary surplus on our budgets, so we have reached, if you like, that inflection point when debt starts to fall. We have a big balance of payment surplus, and we're seeing export growth, particularly from Irish-owned companies, perform really well, averaging 8% per annum over the last 4 years. So we are seeing, I think, a really strong fight back in the Irish economy. But we need to do more, and we need to build on a base of the mutual need that comes from trade, and that's why we're here in Australia. I agree with Bruce that Melbourne can be a really good base from which we can, Irish companies can look at a gateway to Asia. We would also, as you rightly say, recognise that Ireland, for many companies, many US companies in the past, has been a gateway to Europe. And Catherine O'Shea, a Donegal woman proudly carrying the Donegal flag today, is our representative here in Australia, who will be carrying that case to support companies who want to look at Europe as a place to develop their companies and would consider Ireland as a location to do so. So I'd just like to say that how pleased I am to be here. This is a time, I think, when technology is doing things that could never have been dreamt of in the past. It's making possible, just for example, in the health service, where we have many companies here with us today, the changes that technology enables in the quality of care that a person can get, the length of time that they can remain independent in their own home, the quality of the monitoring that can be provided by doctors of their progress. It has been transformed by technology, and we have a great opportunity to apply that to the benefit of our people, whether in Australia, Ireland, or indeed anywhere in the world. And we have companies who are specialising in how to make that possible. So this is a time not only of opportunity to trade, but actually opportunity to improve the lot of many people who have to interact with our health service, as with many other services. So I'd like to thank you particularly, and Frank, a proud Roscommon man from Boyle, thank you for your fantastic hospitality, and may your prosperity long continue as you transform and evolve into the sort of economy you wish for yourselves. Thanks very much.